In this video, we will be replacing the shower enclosure and also the shower valve. We'll start by getting a good look, and then we're going to start removing the shower doors. This is the bathroom that is back to back to the shower, to where we are going to replace. Just giving you an idea. And now we're down in the basement, up under the two bathrooms that are back to back. And this side here is the side where the shower enclosure is. That's the pipe to the toilet next to the shower. Now let me show you the drain to the shower that we're going to replace upstairs. And here are some of the tools that we're going to use to get us started. A reciprocating saw, a hammer, channel lock pliers, pry bar, and a 4-way screwdriver. So once again, we start by removing the shower doors. This floor is going to be repaired. This is part of the project here. But all of this will not be shown on the video. We're just going to show the replacement of the shower enclosure. Here we're going to remove the railing that holds the shower doors in place. Just kind of giving you a good look of what we've got to work with and showing you the outer edges, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the reciprocating saw and we're just going to cut the outer edge clear through so that we can just pull the tiling and drywall away from the wall, rather than totally gutting the bathroom out. We're just going to gut this part out. And here we go with the reciprocating saw, using it in a slight angle, making sure that we don't cut too far back in there to where we would cut any wires or anything else that might be in the way. Again, just cutting in such an angle that we don't go too deep into the drywall to where we would cut any wire or any pipe that may be back there. Notice the angle that we're holding the saw in. Now we have a nice, neat, and straight cut. Something to work with. We use the towel as a straight edge to keep us straight along the line as we cut around the perimeter of the enclosure. Now, when we do go to replace the enclosure with a new one, it may be a little larger, so we may have to cut just a little bit more out, but we won't have to gut this whole bathroom out just to replace this shower enclosure. And now you see here that we're starting to just pull the towel right out, and we have a nice, neat demo where we didn't completely tear the bathroom apart, but just getting to what is necessary. This is the complete rip out. And in this case, since we have no way of getting a full one-piece enclosure shower in here, we're going to have to get a three-piece shower enclosure. In some cases where there's not a bathroom on the other side, you can also just take that wall out. And now to remove the base of the shower, we're going to have to disconnect the drain. And in this case, this is an older shower that has been lead and oakened in with cast iron pipe. It's going to be kind of difficult, so we're going to make this easy. We're going to take our grinder, and we're just going to cut this drain right out. We're just going to cut part of the bottom of this base out with this grinder right here. We're just going to make a nice little square cut to where the drain is and just pull the shower base right up. Now we have a nice complete cut, and the shower base should come right up. Okay, and from here we can work with the drain and make removing it a lot easier. Before we install the new shower enclosure, we've had the carpenter come and replace the floor. Now, before we replace our shower enclosure, we're going to replace our shower valve. This is the old one. And just giving you a pretty good look at it before we start. Here is the new shower valve, which is a Moen Posi-Temp single handle. This is required by law throughout the United States. The Posi-Temp valve is designed so that anyone that uses it can prevent themselves from getting burned. With the old tub and shower valve, it was easy for a child or a senior citizen to just turn the hot water on and actually get burned and scald themselves. So now these valves are designed so that people cannot hurt themselves, and the only design that the Posi-Temps come in now are the single handle faucets. Right now you cannot find them in 2 or 3 handle tub or shower valves. And also, the neat thing about a Posi-Temp valve is that when someone goes to flush the toilet, it would balance out the pressure to where you would not get too much hot water or too much cold water. So that will be a thing of the past eventually. And here we're going to remove the protective cover plate which keeps it protected during packaging, handling, or whatever. And the white round piece that you see, we're also going to take that off, but you can put it back on to, it's actually used to line you up with the drywall, but it is removed on the finish. Right here you will see the word up. This is where the shower is going. And we're pulling the pin so that we can pull the cartridge out, so that when we do go to solder, we don't melt any of the rubber pieces or plastics that's inside the cartridge itself. And what we're doing here is just taking a screwdriver just so we can kind of pry the cartridge out of there. They actually do make a tool for this to remove the cartridge. And here we go with the channel lock pliers, just pulling the cartridge out. There you see the cartridge. And if you look real close at the tip, you can see one side says H and one C for hot and cold. This is the inside, what it looks like. You see there's nothing in there. All the work is done through the cartridge that we pulled out. And there is a arrow on there showing you which is the top part and which is the bottom part, so that you don't put it in backwards. So look real close for the part that says tub and or either up. And right here we're measuring the height of the shower head itself. The standard height should be 6'6", and in this case this one is shorter, so we will have to bring the shower head up to bring it up to today's standard. And 6'6", I guess just about right here. So when we do reassemble the new shower valve, we will allow for the extra riser for the shower head itself, adding a few more inches. Now, before we get started, I usually like to just kind of lay some of my material out and just get some pre-pieces that are, just some random pieces that are already there that I can use, and clean the valve itself, clean the fittings, flux it, and solder. This is the no corrode flux that I like to use, number 5. And usually to me, the best solder jobs are when you clean the excess flux off the outside of the fittings and the pipe. Because if you have flux everywhere, the solder will follow all the flux and just make a mess. So just clean them and wipe it down, and you'll have a nice, neat solder joint. And we have our emery cloth, and what I like to use is the fiberglass cleaning cloth. You see how easy that just slid right out of there? I usually like to use a little trick with the channel lock pliers and kind of egg shape the copper tubing. So this way when I push it up into the hole, by being egg shaped, it will sit and set nice and firm, and it won't pull out as easy. So when you're working on a vertical solder, you don't have to worry about the pipe falling out. See? This is the type of acetylene torch that you would find most plumbers using. It's got a gauge, and of course I usually like to have about a 6-foot hose in case I have to go high up on a ladder, and I can leave the tank down low. And of course a striker, and they do make torches that do have the automatic igniter. We just don't have one here. And lead-free solder. And usually before I solder, I like to pull a string of it out and kind of put a curve on the end of it so that I can get to the back side of a fitting if I'm soldering it without having to actually reach around or just hook it around there. And here I have it set up on the floor where it's kind of propped up to where it's not really touching the wood. And now I can just start soldering each connection. And notice when I do go to solder that the fire will be aiming up and not toward the wood. And of course, the hottest point, the hottest part of the fire would be the light blue flame that you see. And the tip of that will be the hottest point. Notice that I am keeping the heat on the valve itself. And once the valve heats up, the pipe will heat up and the solder will be sucked right up into the fitting itself. Okay, now before we can put the new shower valve in, we will have to remove the old shower valve, and right now just cutting the pipe. This may have to come out in pieces, but I will use the torch to pull the end parts up and out of there. Just reheating it and pulling it out. These are mini cutters that will cut up from 3/8 to 1-inch pipe, and it's real handy for tight little spots. You just turn, and every time you make a few turns, you tighten the little wheel on the side and it cramps down on it a little more, and you just turn again, and you continue this process until the pipe is cut clear through. And what we're doing here is checking the measurements. The standard height for a shower valve is 48 inches off the floor to the center of the shower valve itself. Okay, now we're to the point to where we're going to reheat the fitting on the valve itself so that the solder will melt, and we can pull our valve out of place and off of the pipe itself and reuse the pipe. And what we're going to do now is just kind of heat the ends of the pipe up again so that we can kind of clean the excess flux that's on there and kind of smooth the pipe out. This is a good way to clean the excess flux, is to use the flux brush to get the excess solder off of there. And now we're going to take our emery cloth and clean once again the ends of the pipe that we just cleaned up with the fire and the flux. And right here, we're just going to kind of size it up with the new valve, kind of center it. And we're going to get our measurement to get our actual center. And we're going to go by the center of the previous valve that was up here. And again, just sizing it up so I can mark it to where I will be cutting the pipe to fit right in place. And this bottom one here, this will be capped off because, once again, this is not a tub here, this is just a shower. And right here, we're going to start putting some of the copper fittings on. Here's one of the copper 90s, and you noticed that I wiped off the excess flux that was around the edge of the fitting there. This will help for a nice, neat joint. And here we're pinching and egg shaping the fitting so that when we do set it in place, it won't wiggle and wobble all over the place. Keep it still so that we can make a nice solder joint. Now we're going to replace the cartridge to the shower valve. But it's important that we line it up right. Right now it's out of focus. You really can't see it, but there's a H and a C on here, which will go to the top of the valve itself. And the H, of course, is for hot, and the C is for cold, so that we know the position of the cartridge. And again, it's important that the H and the C is at the facing the top part of the shower valve. And now we have the cartridge going in, and we're going to just push it in a little further with the screwdriver so we can push it all the way back in place. And now that we do have it in place, we will take a, it's like a horseshoe pin that goes on the very top that holds the cartridge in. Kind of a horseshoe shape pin. You can see it right there. And we're going to push the cartridge back a little further to give us a little more room to get the retainer pin in there. Kind of guide the pin a little bit with the screwdriver here. Okay, now we have the retainer pin in position. The cartridge will not come out. Now, before we install the base of the shower, let's start by putting the part of the shower drain on the bottom part of the shower base. And again, what I like to do is first lay out my material before I start. This is the shower drain connector, and my preference is the brass connector. They do make it in plastic, but brass is a lot easier to work with and a lot more durable. This part here is the little key to turn it to tighten down on the rubber ring that you see in there. And the first thing we're going to do here is take our plumber's putty, mush it up where it's nice and tight, and kind of make a little rope out of it so that we can just wrap it right around the drain connector there, just like that, so that when we go to push down and pull down and tighten the adapter down, the putty will just squish out the side and make a nice, tight, and safe seal to the bottom of the shower drain. And I am doing this while the shower base is out, because this makes it a lot easier to put the shower drain connector on here. Now that we do have the shower drain connector on, I've put a piece of cardboard from the box that the shower enclosure came in, so that we do not scratch or damage the bottom of the shower base, so that we can continue to work on the rest of the shower enclosure. And when the guys come to patch up the drywall spots and tape, sand, and whatever they have to do to keep anyone or anything from damaging the shower enclosure. And from here, we're going to put our shower ring, which will be the ring to hold down the rubber washer that we have right here. The rubber washer will go down into the shower drain adapter. This will make a nice seal so that water don't go through it and come out in the basement. And we just squeeze the neoprene gasket down into the drain adapter. And to get it down further, we're going to take a screwdriver to just kind of push it down in there so it's down in nice and solid. This is kind of similar to what they would do if they used the old lead and oakum. Now here's the adapter ring that we're going to screw down into the hole, which will compress the neoprene gasket, making it spread for a nice seal and tight connection, and making it watertight so that water can't come through and come out on the other side down into the basement. This tool here is used to turn the ring itself. And what I usually like to do is I just usually like to stuff a piece of paper. But what I have is a old brown jersey glove. I'll just take my old brown jersey glove and just kind of stick it down the hole here. And this way the tool that we use to tighten the ring down won't fall down into the drain itself. Believe me, it will fall down in the hole. So please use caution and cover the hole. You will thank me. And you notice the slot in the middle, you can actually use a screwdriver. Just kind of start turning the ring, kind of tightening down on that neoprene gasket. It starts to expand. And if you want it a little tighter, let's take our channel lock pliers and get a grip on it and just kind of turn it with the channel lock pliers to get that extra oomph. Now the only thing left to do is to put our finish plate on it with the strainer, and our shower enclosure is complete.